doing a vacant bed bug treatment here, and the furniture has been removed from the home. People are selling the home, and I told them I would give them a discounted rate if they removed some of the furniture, as there's less furniture to treat. But as you can see, there are telltale signs everywhere. You see the black speckles kind of everywhere along this. This would be the powder diatomaceous earth, which people leave behind a lot. You can see the bed bug inside there, diatomaceous earth. And as you come over here in the corner, you can see all these that are dead. So there are many that are dead, hundreds and hundreds here. You can see more crushed powder there where the bed frames sit. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah. And so as you can see, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Those are all dead bed bugs. But this is always a good example and a good lesson that I like to show people. As you can see, all this black spotting right here. And then you close in, and if it'll focus, there we go. You can see there's a molt on that one side. There was a picture hanging here. And so what they would have done would be to crawl up and hang on the back side of that picture. There's a couple on the wall there. So, and as you can see, all these black specks that just go through. So another picture frame that was right above the bed. And so you have to imagine, here's the bed, the outline of it. Those bed bugs, there's a nightstand there. Those bed bugs are just gonna glom on or get on any type of furniture. If they can't get on the bed, as their population expands, they will look for other areas to then sort of hide themselves. Baseboard areas, trim, paintings, if paintings and things like that are up. But, that normally takes a couple months before their population expands enough to where they'll start to look for these other areas, because nature's very efficient. They will stay as close or on as close piece of furniture on as close to that food source as possible. And so, they don't really start to expand and really get up in these ceiling voids, in my experience, until about, I don't know, probably 6 months of just kind of unfettered access where, think of a retirement community or a person that's bedridden. They're constantly in their bed. The food source just going to town on them. You can see where they've attempted to tape up the light socket to keep any out. But this is something I see quite regularly. And so I'll go through, I will vacuum these baseboards very well. I'll vacuum up the live ones up there, any ceiling voids or anything like that. I'll vacuum throughout. And then obviously treat these baseboards, any crack and crevices around. But vacant bed bugs inherently have a different problem, which is there's no food source emitting that CO2. And so they will essentially just shut down and go dormant and wait until that CO2 is being emitted. Now, in this scenario, folks have been in here emptying this room, so they're breathing, they're cleaning this out, getting this property ready to sell. So there's still been some emission of that CO2. And so those bed bugs are still going to move, and there's still some items left in here. And so normally those bed bugs will still move, interact with the chemical if I don't kill them with the vacuum, or I don't suck them up with the vacuum or move them directly. And so we'll still have some sort of efficacy as they're coming out trying to source or find that food source. But vacants inherently have that issue. They have that problem where the bed bugs will just shut down. And there's a litany of studies out there to really show that between 6 to 12 months, bed bugs can survive without a food source. They will go dormant. They will just wait. And so there's varying degrees. Some say they can make it maybe a little longer than 12 months, but the general consensus seems to be between 6 and 12 months without food. So you can't just put the items out in the shed. You can't just put the items outside. You can't just close the door to the bedroom because chances are you probably transported them somewhere else in the house, and they will literally just shut down for a while and wait until that CO2 is emitted. They will wait for that food source to come back. And so, yeah, this is an interesting one, though. I mean, it's just, like I said, paintings, things like this. Normally, we would take these paintings off the wall, vacuum them, maybe treat them or lightly treat them. But typically, we try not to. The vacuum has just been such an important part of our bed bug procedure that, it is just, I mean, to me, the vacuum is everything. So, and one last thing here, you can see, and get this down here, these are all bed bug molts or carcasses. Because what happens is as they size up, they will go through different stages in their life cycle, and they will leave these sort of casts behind as their body sizes up. And so you can just see the hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of bed bug casts that were here. So, my suspicion here is the person that had these probably had them for well over a year, probably close to 2 years for it to get this bad, where you've got thousands and thousands, and they start expanding up into the ceiling voids, and then you'll see them on the ceiling itself. In my experience, that's over a year. So they don't always get this bad, but the vast majority of the time, this isn't the person's fault. A lot of times they just get used to it. They make do with it. Sometimes you can run into mental illness where people, maybe they just don't care. They're not bothered by the bugs. They just don't care. But most of the time, I think it's normally with elderly people that I see it with, and they just kind of put their hands up, I think. Or maybe they don't get enough help from family or something like that. So, yeah, just a little sort of preview of me going through vacuum and treating this.